Show.
Hello and welcome, everybody. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. We're glad to have you with us on 2K Sports. Tonight, it'll be the Brooklyn Nets going up against the Bulls in Chicago. For Chicago, they're looking to come out strong and make their mark early. They have to look at this game as a great opportunity to do just that. So last year, we saw Jimmy Butler take a giant leap forward with the Bulls while Derrick Rose was out. So, Kenny, who's the number one guy on that team right now?
Number one option, that's tough because Rose was injured before he was the MVP. So, obviously he put the team on his shoulders. So you would think if he can get close to that form, Derrick Rose is the number one option.
The Nets are out of Brooklyn as they take on their Eastern Conference rival in today's game. At the United Center, Chicago fans are cheering for their Bulls. And get ready for another dose of NBA basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan, and here with me tonight, Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke reporting from the sideline. And it's going to be the Bulls off the tip. Outside Butler. Here are the starters for Brooklyn. Jarrett Jack is out there with Wayne Ellington. And it's Young. Then it's Brook Lopez. And it's Bogdanovich in at the 3, the small forward. Lopez a screen. Here's Bogdanovich, defended by Dunleavy. Lopez dishes to Young. Great look, but off the mark. Now the Bulls with it.
Guys, the Bulls' defense was as stout as ever last season. A big part of that is they have guys that challenge you inside and at the rim. Even off the bench, all of their bigs are mobile and protect the basket.
And the Nets with possession here. Jimmy Butler unable to get his last shot to go. Here's Bogdanovich.
Oh! And how about the execution on that play? The screen was set up in exactly the right spot.
And the finish wasn't too bad either.
Perfectly designed and perfectly executed.
That was a nice replay brought to you by Kia. For 3, Dunleavy. The rebound by Young.
Boy, just by his body language, Kevin, you can tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Yeah, it seemed like he had great rhythm on that. You can see the disappointment in his face.
Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Last season, Thaddeus Young was moved from Minnesota to Brooklyn, guys. A good move for everybody involved as he helped with the playoff push.
Young last year, as you mentioned, GA, shipped to Brooklyn, provided good punch off the bench.
Yeah, and Young is so efficient in his scoring that he's a great guy to play heavy minutes off the bench. Shot over 50% from the floor in his games with the Nets.
Now here's Gibson. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. Rose, that's good.
And that's good stuff from him. Nice touch.
Derrick Rose. Now here is Jack. To the paint. And Young, here we go. Good, and Jack gets the assist.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
Rose passes to Butler. In the corner, Gibson with it. Outside Butler. Offside Gasol. The 3. Lopez grabs the board. The Nets have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Here's Bogdanovich. The second effort. Young's shot is off.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it. Just the height separation on that mid-range jumper. Excellent job of taking advantage.
Brooklyn trailing. Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
I had a chance to talk with the head coach for Brooklyn. He said that their defensive focus, no surprise, will be trying to keep Derrick Rose out of the lane. He added, you know he's come a long way as an outside shooter, but he's a pick-your-poison type of player. We can't let him get into the paint. Makes sense, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris. Outside Gasol. Butler from outside. Shot is off. And it's the Nets taking it the other way. And Jack kicks to Ellington. Back to Jack. Wide open look. Again, the miss by Jack.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
And finished off by Rose. Clark, a lot of give and take between these sides early.
Kevin, how about 6 lead changes in this half already?
Yeah, and both teams look like they came to play. We should have a good one.
Here's Bogdanovich. Too long in the paint, and he's hit with a 3-second violation. For Brooklyn, they have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both.
And on the season, you know, they're hitting about 76%, which is a decent rate.
And so he hits the technical free throw. So Chicago ends up going with the new group. Here's Kilpatrick. That's tipped. Brooks outside. McDermott. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
And guys, what a strange rookie campaign for Dougie McBuckets. I mean, he entered the draft as a polished sharpshooter. The Bulls traded up in the first round to get him, and he ended up playing 9 minutes a game over the course of last season.
Larkin, he's checked in for Jarrett Jack. And on the topic of Doug McDermott, one of the most decorated college players in recent history, and Clark, you called a lot of his games.
Yeah, enjoyed watching him play, and I still think he has a bright future. Just never found any real rhythm. Averaged only 3 points a game, but he didn't get much playing time, so look for him to bounce back in the years going forward.
Clearly a foul.
Yeah, he took a shot there, earned those free throws.
Bulls shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
And really, the form at the line all season has been terrific. 79% as a team.
Yeah, guys, they can feel very good about themselves when you bring up those statistics. Impressive numbers.
1:43 left to play in the first. Nets trail by 4. Here's Larkin. Lopez a screen. It's deflected. Noah with the block. Here's Brooks. Up and in on the layup. And look at how the hustle game has been going for Chicago.
Well, in the first half of play, they're closing out aggressively, blocking shots, a key indicator of their activity on the defensive side.
They also came out of the locker room with their running shoes on. I mean, their transition game has been full throttle.
You can't afford to give him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
Noah, the rebound by the Nets. Here's Larkin, looking for his first basket still in this one. Here's Robinson, rebounded by McDermott. A chance at a 2-for-1 if they want it.
If I'm them, I try it.
Fires for 3. There's the bucket. Good.
Good open look, and he splashes home the 3.
And Brooklyn has possession. 6-point game. Down low, here's Lopez, and he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
Elevates and powers in the one-hand.
Textbook.
Yeah, and I'm glad, guys, he doesn't go overboard on that one and get a little too fancy.
Now, here is Mirotic out to the wing. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Moore outside. Deep 2 from Brooks. Brooklyn with the rebound. Lopez has got his 3rd rebound tonight, and the call will be against Joakim Noah. That's his first foul. Here's Sloan, and that's not going to go. And they're scoring pretty well as we conclude the first quarter. Bulls lead by 4. We'll get right back to the action when we return. And Pau Gasol, after some great years and some difficult years, talks about now his newfound excitement playing with the Chicago Bulls. I think you'd have to say that Gasol's decision to go to Chicago, Clark, was great. He clearly gave it a lot of thought. It's hard to imagine him having made a better pick.
You know, I agree. Not only is he happy, but so are his teammates, Ask Rose and Noah and Butler. Those guys love playing with him, and you can see how the change of scenery rejuvenated the big Spaniard, too.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And taking a look at Chicago's performance here, guys, what have they been doing or not doing?
It's been about the pace. You can see they're going to try to keep this game in the open floor.
Yeah, and, you know, it's been a tempo that they like, and they're getting some easy buckets in transition here.
Portis is out there with Jimmy Butler. Then it's Pau Gasol. And it's Rose. And it's Holiday in at the 2 spot. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Here's Sloan. Jimmy Butler making his last shot. Poked away. And, oh, here we go. Rose. Nobody back. Oh! Boom! And nobody getting in the way.
Not at all. Major throwdown there.
Man, those aren't legs. Oh, this guy, those are like springs.
Holy smokes. Almost superhuman.
Guys, he can really elevate. That we know.
Here's Bogdanovich. And he gets it to go.
And every once in a while, he'll show up and give you some great moves around the hoop.
Outside Rose. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. From outside the arc. And again, it's the Bulls from deep.
Boy, have they gotten hot here in the second quarter. No wonder they're in front.
I don't know if this field goal percentage is sustainable, but if they can stay close to what they've done in shooting the ball, they'll run away with this one.
And the basket by Caruso.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call them.
Yeah, that's a nice pass. I will give you that.
Yep, he was on the money, that's no doubt.
Clearly, they've been the hotter team here in the first half.
Well, they've been grit and grind, working for those high percentage shots, and quite honestly, it's paid off for them.
And there's the call by the official. They'll count the basket here following the goaltending call.
He thought he had that one clean, but the ref saw it differently. They'll count the basket.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Gibson comes in for Portis. That's Dunleavy in for Justin Holiday. And the Nets also making a change. Jack's checked in. So many people overlooked Pau Gasol prior to last season, seemed to think that Clark, he was past his prime.
Well, he was a starter in the All-Star game and a huge reason the Bulls played as well as they did. It was a big season for him. A lot of GMs shaking their head for not going harder after.
Young with the steal. And now in transition is Jack. Here we go. Young against Gibson. Shot from 12. Another one falls for Brooklyn.
You know, and with Pau Gasol, it was weird to think that the Lakers were just so ready to let him go and move on.
Now here's Rose. He's got 12. Dunleavy's shot is off. Jack with it. Screen by Young. And Jack kicks to Bogdanovich. 6 on the shot clock. Another one falls for Brooklyn.
And with the skill set that Pau has and the year he had, there's no telling how long he can play at a high level. Again, one of those guys that never been reliant on the athletic ability to have an impact.
If he can improve on what's been a shaky day for him thus far, they could stretch this lead out.
So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Joakim Noah's checked in for Gasol. Mirotic comes in for Taj Gibson. Morris checked in for Butler. And it's Brooks in for Derrick Rose. And Young with the basket on the assist from Jack. Young's got the game tied up here for Brooklyn.
Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
It really has, Clark. The defense unable to react as quickly as necessary in terms of dealing with their passing.
Here's Dunleavy. And again, no good by Chicago.
Oh, nice play on D. Got that hand in the face and prevented him there from getting an easy look.
Exactly. Alert and aware. Really reacted quickly to that shot attempt.
Young, right side, shoots from 14. The shot will not go. Now Chicago takes it the other way. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. And that one's good. Moore's got 7.
And the double clutch layup in that situation, that's just him playing to the crowd, guys.
Nets were pretty far back from relevance at times last season, as we saw. It took a late season hot streak for them, Greg, to get into the playoff picture.
Yeah, and that was a neck-and-neck race with the Pacers right till the very end. Not exactly what they had in mind at the start of the season, but they did pull through.
Chicago making a switch here. McDermott's checked in. Larkin is checked in for the Nets. Here's Lopez after the Bulls pick up 2.
This guy is a high flyer. I mean, especially for a power forward, and he needs to be as an undersized player.
Chicago's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter.
And, you know, for the Nets, they ended up being bounced out of the first round, fell to the #1 seed Hawks. They put up a good fight against Atlanta and made the series interesting, but still came up short.
52 seconds left to play in the first half. Here's Larkin. Brooks covering. Lopez a screen. And the pass to Hollis Jefferson. Kicks to Larkin. Feeds it to Lopez. Shot clock at 5. Here's Young. That one falls through. It's his 6th make from the floor this game. Now 6 for 10.
And for the Nets in the postseason, they did have a good showing despite that early exit. Many people expected the Hawks to sweep, but they took them to 6 games and capped what was an interesting year for Brooklyn overall.
Obviously, they're evenly matched teams on the inside. The rebound numbers are very even.
Yeah, impressive effort from both on the backcourt.
Brooklyn shooting their 4th and 5th shots at the foul line in the game. And that one falls, and that puts them up by 1 point. Here is Brooks. Stolen. In transition, here come the Nets. Here's Larkin. Puts up the baby hook. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. The Nets have been on target from the free throw line. They're 5 of 5 in that department. And the first one drops. And so he makes both from the line. Five seconds left now here in the second. Noah wide open. That misses, and we're through the
2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet. Brooklyn found themselves in a close game in the first. They only had a couple rough stretches, and as the first period came to a close, they had a 4-point deficit. They played with more purpose. And that'll do it for now, as the second half of our game is about to get underway. Kevin Harlan has the call.
Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first half. One guy who's getting it done is Thaddeus Young.
Yeah, the rebounding, particularly on the offensive side, as good as it gets. He was bringing the effort down low.
And I tell you what, that allowed him to get his team several multiple shot opportunities. His work on the offensive glass has been invaluable.
Setting the floor for the Nets. Bogdanovich out there with Young. Then there's Wayne Ellington. Then it's Brook Lopez. And it's Jack in at the point. It's incredible to think that Pau Gasol last year set a career high in points in a game for as long, Clark, as he's played. He had that 46-point game in January.
Yeah, that's 46 points for Pau to go with 18 rebounds. I mean,
right.
You rarely see a player of his age putting up a career high like that.
And with Pau, that 46-point game, he became the oldest player to get 45 points and 15 rebounds. And a final point, guys, with Pau's career game. It's crazy to think that he did it while not being the first offensive option. I mean, he had been the go-to guy with his time in Memphis for so long.
Here's Jack following the score by Derrick Rose. And Young, here we go. Power down with both hands.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with the dunk like that.
Got that one, and the Nets lead has been cut down now to just 3 on the basket from Dunleavy.
A splendid pass that time by Rose.
Inside. And it's Young. That time on the assist from Jack. And that's 18 points here for Thaddeus Young.
And guys, looking at Jarrett Jack, one word comes to mind: professional. I mean, he's as solid as they come. Tough, capable, experienced. And he proved it all again last season.
For Chicago, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. Here's Rose, and he uses the glass on the layup. Rose has got 4 this quarter.
Nice move and finish. I think the halftime break really gave him a second win.
Talking about Jarrett Jack, he is especially dangerous at the end of the game. Not only does he make great decisions, Clark, he was a top 10 free throw shooter last season.
Yeah, experienced, tough-minded ball handlers and shot makers are always valuable, especially when it's winning time.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn.
And I think taking a time here to talk things over is a smart idea.
One of the things you want to do is make sure everybody is clearly on the same page with the game plan. And sometimes you need a timeout to make sure that's the case.
Tony Snell's checked in for the Bulls. Doug McDermott comes in for Dunleavy. It's stolen by Rose. Down low. Got a piece of it. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will retain possession.
And really no choice but to lunge for that pass to make sure it didn't get through.
Yeah, and that was important. Probably would have been a quick 2 points if he doesn't get a hand on it and knock it out of bounds.
Now here's Gasol. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Butler kicks to Rose. It's stolen by Jack. 2 minutes gone in this third quarter now. And the foul on Derrick Rose. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far.
Now into the lineup for the Nets, Thomas Robinson.
It's the Nets now. 3-point lead. Kilpatrick passes to Jack. Here's Kilpatrick. He's covered by Rose. Here's Jack. Rebound by the Bulls.
I tell you what, the defense should send Christmas cards for that miss.
Bulls made the postseason for the 10th time in their last 11 seasons. Last year, they have become a fixture, Greg, in the playoffs in the East.
And how about last season, Kevin, had that interdivision matchup in their first round against the up-and-coming Bucks. Some hiccups for him in that series, but they were able to prevail.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
Boy, in that playoff series against the Bucks, the Bulls looked like they were primed for an upset as they started slowly, eventually pulled it together, and came in as the underdogs against the Cavs.
Now here's Lopez. Here's Bogdanovich. Shot clock at 6. Shot by Jack. Wide open. Second chance shot. No luck. Now Chicago takes it the other way. Here's Butler. And that misses. That would have put him up.
And the Cavs knocked out the Bulls in 6 games. Bulls went up 2-1 in the series, but didn't have an answer for LeBron. Strong effort from the Bulls, though, but they just couldn't match the firepower of the Cavs.
That's good. Kilpatrick's got 5 points so far.
Heads-up play there, guys, on the assist and the finish.
Here's Rose. He just cannot miss. 8 up, 8 in. Flawless.
Some big points there. I mean, they got him on a nice play to get the ball right to the bucket.
And exactly what they're looking for down the stretch, Clark. Just more of the same.
Here's Jack. And the shot is long.
And he has slipped into a funk, Clark. You can see the confidence. Wow, the floor just really opened up for him on that possession.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for good offense, but that was just a terrible reaction from the defense.
And that replay sponsored by Kia, the Kia Slam Cam, giving us a great look at that one. So it's Brooklyn now. The Bulls getting the bucket. Pass to Bogdanovich. Dishes to Lopez. Got it. Good job in the low post. Lopez has got his 2nd basket of the game. And Clark, as we approach the 4th quarter, still anyone's ball game.
Yeah, exactly right, Kevin. I mean, these teams just simply keep trading baskets, and as a result, trading the lead.
Yeah, neither team able to create much of a cushion. And Thomas Robinson has been on a lot of teams here in this short time. in the league. Not easy to find a spot when you're always getting moved.
Now here is Jack. Nice fake there to create the shot, but it's no good.
He still hasn't been able to convert from the field. He's just struggling to find his shot.
And for Robinson, the trade's way on him as well. Clarky said last season that he just wants to prove that he belongs here.
Well, you know, he's yet to find the right fit for a team. But the skill set is clearly there. I mean, he's an NBA player. There's no doubt about that. Looked great for Philadelphia near the end of the year as he got minutes with them.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Gasol. Mirotic comes in for Tony Snell. Justin Holiday's checked in for Butler. And it's Brooks in for Rose. And Lopez gets it to go.
Just no chance for the smaller defender to block that shot.
He's really, really good at using his size to free himself up for those mid-range jumpers. A master at it.
Brown outside. And there's the feed to Sloan. Tries again. Joakim Noah grabs the miss. Chicago trailing here. McDermott with it, and Young picks him up defensively. McDermott's gone 1 of 3 shooting so far. Passes it to Sloan. This one for 3. The shot's good. Brown making the play. 32 seconds left to play in the third. Brooks outside. The dish to McDermott. Launches a 3. Rebound, Brooklyn. Here's Sloan. Brooks covering. Pass to Lopez. Just 3 on the clock. Green for 2 points. Now it's a 6-point Nets lead. And that does it for the third quarter. Both teams clicking offensively as we approach the fourth quarter. Brooklyn ahead, leading by 6. And when we return, we'll get the fourth quarter rolling right here on 2K Sports. All right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. Fourth quarter should be good. The big men are Gibson and Noah. Rose is the 1 with Butler is the 2. And it's Dunleavy in at the 3 slot. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Now here's Butler. He kicks it to Dunleavy. Jacks up a 3. The shot is off.
And they continue to control the glass.
Guys, I think they've simply been the more physical team, and that's why they're ahead.
Lopez dishes to Young. Mike Dunleavy is going to pick up the foul. Paul Gasol's checked in for Noah. And a change for the Nets. Bogdanovich is checked in for Hollis Jefferson. Chicago on defense. They trail by 6. Rose kicks to Dunleavy. Lets it go. Here's Gasol, and plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up. And there's the call. Brooklyn the foul. And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the Nets?
They keep piling up the assists, and they haven't cooled off at all.
Well, you've also got to love how aggressively they've taken that ball to the basket and scored off dribble penetration. We're seeing today what makes him one of the best free throw shooters among the league's big men. Beautiful stroke.
And the foul on Derrick Rose. That will get him his 4th foul of the game.
He just picked up his 4th personal foul, and now he's got some foul trouble hanging over his head, guys.
Ellington, the pass to Bogdanovich. Marvelous lead pass, and he throws it down.
Ooh, that's as forceful a finish as you're ever going to see out of this guy.
Well, gee, it adds now to their lead in spectacular fashion.
And, you know, that lead's only going to grow if they're not prepared to defend a little more staunchly than that.
Nets leading by 4. And here is Ellington. He feeds it to Jack. And it's Dunleavy with the rebound.
No breathing room at all to take that shot.
The trade. The shot is off. The Nets have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the 4th quarter. Jack dishes to Ellington. Gibson with the steal. Fast break. Here comes Chicago. Here's Butler. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
Well, you talk about clutch plays, defensively and offensively. We saw both right there.
And the gap's narrowing right now, Clark. Every second from here on out counts. Neither team can afford to make mistakes. You got to manage the clock and play smart.
You know, guys, Taj Gibson now has 6 full seasons in the NBA, already 30 years old. Seems like just yesterday he was being drafted.
Last quarter of play, about 2 minutes in now. In the corner, it's Ellington. And Young, here we go. On his 15th shot attempt, he makes his 9th basket. Shooting a healthy 60% tonight.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the league.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
I was able to listen in on what the Nets coach was going over with his team. Young was the focus of the discussion, and he wants their offense to run through him. Coach has a lot of faith in him offensively and let his players know it, insisting that he be at the forefront of what they do at that end of the court from here on out. It's pretty late in the game to be altering the game plan, but they're going to come out with a different look here, guys. Back to you.
Thank you, Doris.
They didn't get a chance to knock one down in the first, but the defense left him a look, and he nailed it. He'll make them pay when he's open.
Here's Bogdanovich, fended by Dunleavy. Back to Lopez. Shot clock at 6. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim. And the Nets lead by 5.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Now here's Butler. He dishes it to Dunleavy. The shot's good on the assist by Butler.
Back-to-back threes for him. The defense is slacking off a little.
You've got to respect that 3, or you'll give up points in a hurry.
Here's Jack. Lopez a screen. And Jack, here we go. Ellington from outside. Here's Lopez, and good work on the boards. They pick up the second chance points.
Just lazy defense on the glass there.
Well, nobody boxed out. Nobody put a body on anybody else. Things like that not only drive the coach crazy, that stuff gets under my skin.
Now here's Rose. Gasol a screen. Lopez with the steal. And they're on the break. Here's Ellington. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
It is. I mean, no reason to back off and give him the layup. I mean, much better off making him go to the line.
And so both free throws are good. And it's a 6-point ball game.
They got to keep fighting their way to the line, guys. This half, it's been nothing but success for them there.
Yeah, taking full advantage from the charity stripe. They've yet to miss here in the second.
Dunleavy's shot is off.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that.
Lopez inside. He's up against Gasol. And they'll keep possession. He had a nice open look right there. Bogdanovich has got 5 points in the quarter.
They've stepped up their three-point shooting game in the second half. They're letting it fly out there with reckless abandon.
not lacking in confidence, and I really like that. Sometimes you see teams get conservative once they get a lead, playing not to lose.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. They're trailing by 9. 1:24 left here in the fourth quarter. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
I was able to listen in on what Chicago's coach was going over with his team. He told them, no holding back. I want 100% effort out there. If you can't give it, ask for a sub. No time to rest now. Let's get after it. Kevin, he wants everything they've got.
Mirotic brings the double team. Now here's Ellington. He's covered closely. Lopez sets a screen for Jack, and it's blocked by Mirotic. And Jack, here we go. Again, the miss by Jack.
And it's still a close game. I mean, despite the fact that they've struggled to compete on the boards.
Yeah, you know, but down the stretch here, guys, they'll summon that extra effort to try and get it done, I think.
Now here is Jack. 29 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Here's Lopez. There's the basket and make it a double-digit lead. And the Nets lead by 11.
And you can hear the disappointment in the crowd tonight. But we saw a team that was just ready to do battle in this arena. They clearly wanted this road win.
Crystal clearly. They came in here determined to steal this game, Greg. Their effort level, I thought, was outstanding, and they just took care of business.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots. There's 10 seconds left in the fourth quarter. The drive by Brooks, and he lays it straight in.
Really, really good at recognizing the gaps and getting the ball to the rim.
Now Brown, and so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg. Not necessarily a runaway win, but one they'll feel very good about.
And let's face it, anytime you can go on the road and win in the fashion they did, you have to feel good about it. Really an outstanding effort all the way around.
And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Kevin, we have Brooke Lopez with us.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Kevin, much appreciated. And now let's move on to our Jordan Player of the Game. He put up a new season high tonight. And if he keeps shooting like he did tonight before the season's over, he might top it. A big key. And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Hope you enjoyed the show. From myself, Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and the entire